Yeah. Your pie Q, she mix. Light. That's my sister. I see how you changing. I'm like, go girl. You ain't tryna be a part of this world. Cover up your body and I love it, girl. I love it, D.O.Z. Yeah. I see how you changing. I'm like, go girl. You ain't.
Second Corinthians 4:17. For our light affliction, which is but for a moment. That works, son. What that work? Working for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. Yeah.
I'm going through it. Now I'm ready for whatever, gon' walk perfectly like Christ did. Shouts out to my brother, I'm cool now. The battle is won now. But the war just really started. You blew it. It's eating you up like you ain't even chosen. Trial after trial, that was wild after wild after wild. If it keeps going like this, yes, I was better in the world now. See the wicked prosper. Nothing really bother them. Fathers being fatherless. People don't give a damn. One thing's tears flowing over to the river. Damn. It gotta be a master plan going through it. Please come my way. These little light afflictions. Day by day. I'm going through it. Feel a little empty inside. Breathe the spirit too many times. I think she's gone too. Love I thought I had, he gone too. Looking for my family, looking for my friends, they gone too. Look to the hills, only place to look to. We gon' be alright, we gon' be alright. We don't know the most high, we gon' be alright. Push through anything you're going through. Don't choose the world, you chose you. Ain't nothing out in the world. Losing your soul. It ain't working so. Feel the light affliction, like affliction. Feel the light affliction, like affliction. Feel the light affliction. Feel the light affliction. Feel the light affliction.
2 Corinthians 4:18. While we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen.
I'm going through it. Thought I left the sin behind, but it's chasing me down. Trying to make me go down. Devil on my wings, trying to keep me from being the spiritual being. It's a revelation. You make war with the seed of Jacob. Gon' ride that dragon like we pushing 8 seconds.
Watch it, pray. We got this.
It looks like that worked.
Yay, you're in. Your video's loading though, I think. If it's not loading, then I can't see you. I can hear you.
Yeah, I left the video off because I'm in the bed. I gotta be up early.
Oh. Gotcha. Yeah, okay, so yeah, keep that off. Keep it off.
I don't look rough, but I want everybody to see me, presentable.
Yeah, you're doing the right thing. The spirit is giving you wisdom.
Mm-hmm. You see how Satan
welcome,
tried to stop this video?
Or Dr. Braden that entered 15. Dr. Braden 15 that entered.
That's my cousin.
Is that you? I'm sorry.
That's my cousin. That's my cousin.
Oh, welcome, cousin.
Dr. Gabby, Dr. Pickle.
Okay, all right. Well, hold on. Let me. I'm over here playing with different features, but let me pause this. This was supposed to be a podcast, but let me flip this around. Okay. All right. Hello and welcome, sisters and lovely ladies, to another live episode of Israelitesses United. It's Sister Yaya, and it's a blessing to be here again after a couple of weeks of absence. Just chilling and just enjoying the Feast of Dedication. I hope everyone had a very blessed Feast of Dedication out there. But we're back, and for anyone tuning in for the first time, we are a sisters group of Bible believers. We come together to deal, heal, and build in the Spirit of Christ. We work towards self-improvement, and along the way, uniting as sisters to uplift and edify, encourage, and just bear each other's burdens, do whatever it takes so we make it to the kingdom of heaven. That's what we're about. We are live here on Instagram every Sunday at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and 1 p.m. Pacific Time. We have a website, Israelitesses That's a very good way to connect with us and see all of our content, even content that is not here on Instagram, because before we were on Instagram, we were just a podcast on Podbean. So if you want to check out those episodes, they are there at Israelitesses We will soon be on Messiah TV, which is a new TV channel, and it's a good place for Israelites and anyone out there who has some good righteous content to upload and share and stream there at Messiah TV. Again, that's NASIYA TV. Messiah TV is new and it's blessed. So we will be there soon. We actually got a commercial I just put up there just a few hours ago. So, you know, Most High's willing, we'll have a lot of content there, and it'll just grow and be used as a tool to serve and glorify the Most High God. All right, so we are on YouTube as well. We have a channel, and that's about it for us for right now. We have a topic today, and is PTCD, post-traumatic camp disorder, or church. You can use either interchangeably, but that's our title. We have a guest today. I think, are you okay, Sister Stephanie? We have Sister Stephanie of Crown of Zion Sisters Ministry. If you have a moment, can you tell and share a little bit about what you do, your ministry, and just give some insight so everyone has information about what that's about?
Oh, sure. Okay, so Crown of Zion is a sisters ministry dedicated to helping sisters grow and be virtuous women. It's non-denominational. Anyone can join. Our focus is on Christ and how we can become better wives, mothers, sisters, friends. And within the organization, we have workshops every Saturday. And our workshops are focused and centered around building virtue, you know, things that we need, instilling tools that we'll need every day. And it's for the sisters, by the sisters. And we've been going strong for a year and a half. So it's been, you know, a very blessed journey in Crown of Zion, and there's been a lot of growth, especially, you know, for me personally, it's been a lot of growth. It's very beneficial. Mm-hmm.
Praise the Most High. Thank you so much for sharing.
Mm-hmm.
And definitely has been a lot of growth, and it's been blessed. And it's just been a blessing to sisters out there who need to have that sisterhood, that fellowship, and also find a safe and supportive community to continue growing spiritually in. So that's always something that is a need. And I'm glad that, you know, through the grace of the Most High, we have something like that available. For everyone who was able to hear the track that we played before we opened the show, that was Sister Yapa Q, a very blessed and talented Hebrew Israelite artist. She's a rapper, she sings, and I believe more recently she's gotten onto the Billboard charts. So praise the Most High. Congratulations, sis. You've been just doing she's been doing some really good work, and she has a powerful message in her music, and she has music with a purpose, and the Most High has been blessing her. It's been growing, and she's just putting out some good righteous music to help build a nation and serve the Most High God. So, you know, I'm really happy to support. We definitely need to show love to her. Again, that's Yapa Q Music. She's on Instagram, YouTube. She's everywhere. Any and everywhere there's music, she's there. And she's a very humble sister from everything I've been able to see from her, and just a beautiful spirit to be around. It's always a blessing to be in her company. Just a good, you know, a light in her. And I just pray that the Most High continues to use her to do his will. All right, so And again, we have our guest today, Sister Stephanie. Welcome. I didn't even say welcome. Welcome, Sister Stephanie. I know we just tried, we were on before and we came back because we had some technical difficulties trying to get her in. So we actually started the show on time, but we're late now because we had to reboot and, you know, troubleshoot and do all kind of things just to get her in. But she's here, praise the Most High, and we're ready to go. Do you have anything you want to say before we jump into this topic?
No, I just pray that everybody's blessed and, you know, everybody's, you know, prospering in the spirit. That's just it.
Sounds good. Same here. And again, welcome to everyone out there in the chat over there, Instagram, or here at Instagram Live. Welcome. And if you have any thoughts, if you have any stories or testimonies that you want to share, this is interactive. Feel free to just interrupt and share whatever is in your spirit to share if you feel compelled to do so. And we're just blessed to have you here. All right, so I have, again, this topic, PTCD, post-traumatic camp or church disorder. And I felt like this was the right time to bring this topic out because I've lived it. I've had experiences with this particular issue a couple of times in my life in different parts of faith. I've had an experience in the Christian church, and I've had an experience walking as a Hebrew Israelite in the Hebrew Israelite community. So I've more recently had a chance to talk to some other sisters in a panel it's called Sarai's Talk. It's a discussion forum for sisters, and we're Hebrew Israelites, and we come together once a month. And again, this is Sarai's Table, and it's on Chosen Few Talk Radio on YouTube. And we'll be on the Saya TV, what I mentioned before. And one of the things that we talked about as we were discussing, should we prove a friend, which was the topic, is some of the pain and some of the unfortunate traumatic experiences that we have experienced, some of us have experienced in different churches or church environments or camps. And just kind of listening to the stories of some of the other sisters and just really hearing the pain, just being able to feel and hear the pain as I heard, I just thought to myself, wow, this is just really crazy. And we don't really talk about this, but it's real. It affects people, it damages lives, it hurts people spiritually. And why are we not talking about this? And one of the sisters, shout out to Sister Delta of the Light Hebrew Magazine. Again, that's the Light Hebrew Magazine, very blessed Hebrew Israelite magazine. And she does a lot of powerful work, and she's the one who actually co-hosts Sarai's Table. But one of the questions she asked, and it's like, it hit me like this. I'm like, why didn't I think of that? You know, she asked, because we were talking about, you know, proving friends and all of that. She said, well, did any of you prove your camp? And when she asked that question, I'm like, no, I didn't, you know, I didn't prove my camp. I mean, I had some reservations in the beginning, like I would anything, but I feel like I didn't do my due diligence to prove a camp. So when she asked that question, I said, you know what, I need to think about this. I need to kind of, you know, kind of let that sink in and process that and see what exactly, where did I go wrong? And that kind of led me to this topic today. But I do have an article that I wanted to just use as a reference tool and just kind of read through it, and we just share our thoughts, if that's okay, Sister Stephanie.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right. So here we go. If you got anything you want to say, Sister Stephanie, you already know how it is. Just jump in there. Yeah. Don't worry about politically correct. Just stop me, cut me off, because I can, you know, I can keep going. But
me politically correct, miss?
Well, yeah. Well, we're here at churchleaders.com. Again, this is churchleaders.com, and the title of this article is Post-Traumatic Church Disorder. This says church disorder, but it can easily apply to a camp, which is like a church. Okay, welcome, Lillian Mintaya. I hope I said that right, that joined over here at Instagram Live. Welcome. Shalom. Okay, again, the title of this article is Post-Traumatic Church Disorder, 12 Symptoms and 5 Treatments. This article was produced by Ben Reed on November 5th, 2021. So it's fairly recent. It was last month. And I'm excited about this. Are you ready for this, Sister Stephanie? You there? You fell asleep? Stephanie? Okay. All right, we're going to keep going. I don't know if she's just on mute or what's going on, but we worked hard to get her here. She's here. She'll come back. I see something happening. You there? Okay. Hopefully it wasn't on my end, but it has happened on my end plenty of times. But I was just asking, are you ready? I'm about to get started with this article, and we're just going to kind of like take it piece by piece and just share our thoughts, stories, or reactions to what we're actually going to be hearing in this story, or this article, I should say. Ready?
Yeah, bring it on.
All right. Post-traumatic stress disorder. It says PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder, happens after a terrifying event. PTCD, post-traumatic church, or I say camp disorder, however, happens after a traumatic, stressful, chaotic, terrifying, painful experience or season in a local church.
Chaotic.
So it sounds like this is a pretty accurate, a pretty chaotic. Accurate, chaotic for sure.
If there is any chaos present, we already know that the Most High is not the author of confusion, and Satan is the progenitor of chaos. So if you feel chaos, run. Head for the hills.
Run the other way. That's a red flag. And I mean, we, just like I shared with the sisters on Sarai's table last Tuesday, we step into, our faith and these faith experiences, these spiritual experiences in these communities with goodwill, with open arms, and with a very positive, sometimes naive outlook on everything being well, everything going well, and us being in a safe place amongst other godly or God-fearing people. And we think like, what could go wrong? What could possibly go wrong?
And see, that's the thing. We should know better as Bible believers, because once as a Bible believer, that once you get baptized, you become enemy number one. So nothing, you shouldn't expect anything to go right. You should expect everything to go absolutely wrong, horribly wrong. That should be the expectation. But the other expectation is that the Most High will deliver you out of every single issue or problem that you may encounter.
Absolutely right. But one of the things I want to share is that when a lot of us get baptized, we are like babes. We don't know. We don't consider all of these things that we learn through experience, as we mature in our faith. We know now, looking back, like, oh, that was a serious red flag. Like, no, caution, caution, warning, warning. Don't do that. Don't do that. But in the moment, as a babe, we're looking like, oh, a child just.
But that's why it's up to us as individuals who's been in the walk for 10 plus years. It's up to us to really make sure we do our due diligence in educating those who come after us, so that they don't make the same mistakes as we have made. And those who have been in longer than us, they should be educating us about things that they have done or situations they've encountered. We need to have these platforms so that each individual can share their stories and share their experiences, so that people can make informed decisions, especially when they're joining Hebrew Israelite camps. I don't even really want to associate with the word Hebrew Israelite anymore because of the particular camp I was with.
We're going to get there, Sister Stephanie. Just sit on that thought. Hold that thought. You're moving a little too fast. But listen, I've been there too. It's been times where I was like, you know what? I know my identity, but somebody asked me, I'm going to be a pre-Constantine Christian today. So I understand, but we're getting to that. But can you agree with this particular definition or explanation of what PTCD means right here when it says it happens after a traumatic, stressful, chaotic, terrifying, painful experience or season in a local, I'll say camp, because we're Hebrew Israelites for the most part, but
Yeah.
there could be some Christians listening, and it could definitely apply to a church as it is written in this article.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I definitely agree. I would just add that it can also happen while you are still within that particular situation, camp or church. It's not necessarily after, and it
yeah.
can last for years.
Yeah, definitely. Especially if there are recurring issues that surface related to it, or certain people, or that camp becomes a part of their life or impacts an individual repeatedly. So I definitely agree. Welcome, all praises to the Most High Yah that entered over here at Instagram Live. As you see, our title, PTCD, Post-Traumatic Camp or Church Disorder. Not everybody has had a traumatic or painful or chaotic or terrifying, as it said in the article, experience with a camp or church. So let me put out this disclaimer and say that not everyone has this type of experience. Some people join a supportive Hebrew Israelite community out there that's safe, that is being governed or being led or managed in righteousness, to where the followers or the members feel like they're in a good, positive space and they're learning and growing spiritually, and all seems to be well. So this is not everybody's experience. And if it's not your experience, all praises to the Most High that you have not lived this. And I pray that you never do. But for a lot of us out there, a lot of us, we as sisters and even brothers, but this is a sisters platform, so that's who I'm speaking to. We as sisters, some of us have endured some very terrifying, painful, chaotic, mad, stressful, insane experiences that have happened in the Hebrew Israelite community, in a camp or church. So that's what we're speaking to today, because some of us have lived it. And just as Sister Stephanie said, it's our duty as survivors. We're survivors, Sister Stephanie, as survivors of this madness. It sounds crazy, but we are. We are.
I feel like I need to be on Oprah, sitting on her chair telling my story.
You're on Sister Yaya. You're on Israelitesses United. You are.
Give me a book deal. I'm gonna get me.
I can't offer you that, but I can give you your 15 minutes. But we're survivors, and it's our duty to help younger sisters in this walk, in this faith, who may be seeing some red flags, and they're the babes that we talked about, we were, and they're the babes right now, and they need someone who's more seasoned or mature in this walk, in this faith, to say, hey, sis, out of love, sis, you might want to be careful. This is what I'm seeing, and this is what I've lived, and I just want you to be safe and be careful. We need that. We owe that to each other. We're supposed to bear each other's burdens and look out for one another. So that's just showing love, and we definitely have a responsibility as sisters who's been in this almost 10 or 10 plus years in this walk to help other sisters avoid pitfalls. So it's our job to do so. I agree with you.
Yeah. Also, it's our job to remain humble when someone does come to us and point out something that they may see, because you never know when someone's trying to protect you, and you can be thinking that things are one way when they are actually not, because as we know, like, it's a lot of people. I won't say a lot, but there are many people where we could tell our stories and it's just like, no, that's not how it really is. Maybe this, maybe that. No, not maybe this, not maybe that. Like, you have to, there needs to be like a certain level of humility so that, you can see things blinded by
definitely
our hope.
Definitely.
If that makes sense. We put so much hope and faith in one thing, and we don't think that thing could actually be wrong when it could.
Well, the Most High gives us a spirit of wisdom. He gives us the Holy Spirit to help us discern, and
Mm-hmm.
it's easy to see if someone's coming in love or if somebody's coming with a hidden motive or some type of ulterior motive. We
Yeah.
can try the spirits, as it say in the scriptures, try the spirits,
Mm.
and not just the person who's trying to help, but try the spirits of everybody around you too, your leadership. And that's one of the things that I feel like I didn't do enough of. And when Sister Delta asked that question, well, did any of you prove your camp? I feel like I didn't try the spirits the way I needed to. And that's just some good wisdom to pass down to sisters out there getting
Yeah.
involved with the church or camp in the Hebrew Israelite community. There are some good, safe ones out there, but definitely try the spirits. Try the spirits. Welcome. It looks like a whole bunch of E's. I hope I'm going to say this right. D_4 that joined over here at Instagram Live. Welcome. If you have anything you want to share, definitely chime in by chat. We're just getting started with this article on post-traumatic church. I say camp disorder because it applies here as well. And we have our special guest, Sister Stephanie from Crown of Zion Sisters Ministry here, and she's just sharing her experiences as well. We're trying to warn sisters who may need this message and help sisters who are living this issue right now and not certain how to go about dealing with it, or may just need some support, because sometimes it may feel isolating, like there is no support out there. And we're over here saying, hey, there is some support. We're your support.
Yeah.
So that's the purpose
Yeah.
of this show today.
Yeah.
All right. So it says it can happen after events that our society would deem abusive, physical, sexual, verbal, and or traumatic. And unfortunately, all of these things can happen inside of a camp. It can be physical, sexual, verbal, any kind of trauma can happen inside of a camp and has happened. So there are a lot of stories out there. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't share their stories, and a lot of what happens just goes unknown. But just be careful, because the reality is we do need to prove the people around us, and we need to try the spirits, as the scriptures tell us, for our safety and for our benefit. All right, so I'm just gonna.
I want to add
Go
something.
ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, because we often say to people we need to prove those around us, prove the organizations we deal with. A lot of people may not understand how to go about doing that, and so I just want to make sure that everyone knows before you join any camp or organization or attach yourself to any particular body, whether it's Christian, Islamic, Hebrew Israelite, whichever you decide to attach yourself to, you need to make sure that you have studied and read on your own, and you have a good understanding of the message of Christ. Because if you don't understand Christ, you're going to end up in a situation where you will go through some trauma because you don't have a good foundation underneath you to support you. The way that you would prove a spirit is you measure them against the scriptures. How are they walking?
Absolutely.
How are they speaking? You need to know what the fruits of the spirit are. You need to know what the fruits of unrighteousness are. And when you see things that are not righteous and you bring it to someone's attention and nothing is done about it, or it's not brought to the light, or you see some underhanded dealings, know who you're dealing with and just walk away from that.
Absolutely. Sister Stephanie, I'm glad you brought that out. That is key. That's critical to our survival. There's no way, and I'm so glad you touched on that. There's absolutely no way to try anything or to know them by their fruits, as the scripture says, as Christ himself said, you will know them by their fruits. There's absolutely no way to know anybody or anything by its fruits if we don't know what the fruits are, because we didn't read the Most High's word. That is the standard for all of our conduct, all of our behavior, everything that's expected of us, how we carry ourselves, govern ourselves around others. All of that is in the Most High's word. So definitely read it. I feel like reading it is actually what helped me to avoid some other pitfalls I could have fallen into if I had not read the Most High's word beforehand. So definitely read for yourself. And I'm not saying just rely on teachings that are given to you on a particular day of the week from someone else and you take notes. No, I'm saying do that. Yes, do that. Be edified. Any possible opportunity you have to be filled and edified, definitely seize that and receive it. But read on your own. Get to know intimately the Most High's word on your own. That way, when you are receiving the word from someone else, you can rightly divide it. You can discern if what you're being taught is even in the scripture, if it's sound doctrine or not, because there's some false doctrines. Christ talked about it. It's all in the scriptures. A lot of false teachings out there. No way you can even know what's false and what's real or what's right or true if you have not read the Most High's word for yourself. So definitely that's on point. Praise the Most High for his spirit, putting that in your mind to say that, because that is the key. That's like the puzzle piece that just going to unlock everything else and help everybody else be able to navigate, as they go on their journey, their course spiritually. The Most High's word.
Yeah, and I want to make sure that we get that we get that that scripture, so that because
you want to get it.
I'm pulling it up now, because I just really think that it's incredibly important, because if we don't know, it's almost like sending people into war with no kind of weapon.
Exactly.
And,
unarmed.
So we're going to get into Galatians 5. Oh, start at 20.
All right.
Actually, no. I'm gonna go all the way up. And we're gonna go.
Okay, you're gonna make this a long show, Stephanie. I can see this right now.
I'm sorry. I mean,
it's cool with me. Listen, it's cool. Listen, I'm a stay-at-home mom. It's cool with me.
We got a duty. We have a duty. So
we do have a duty. We do.
This is Okay, so this is we're going to start at Galatians chapter 5, and I'd like to start it we can start at verse 16, just so that we can be ushered into the entire context of what Paul is saying here. Okay, so it says this I say then, walk in the Spirit, and you shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusts against the Spirit, and the Spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary the one to the other, so that you cannot do the things that you would. But if you be led of the Spirit, you are not under the law. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like. And I just want to stop there, because I want to make sure that everyone understands with idolatry, it's not necessarily worshiping a false god. A person, a church leader can be an idol.
Yes.
So when you start listening to that church leader, before you consult the Most High, or before you, if you listen to what that person has to say as opposed to the scriptures, that person has become your god. You can be a god unto yourself. So be careful with that. Also, it says, as I've told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. So those are the ways that righteous individuals, brothers and sisters, should be walking in. If anyone's walking contrary to any of those things that were stated towards the end, walk away. Run away.
Run. Listen, run like there's fire behind you, like there's lava coming. Run for your life. Definitely. Yeah. And don't look back. And I mean, thank you so much for going to those scriptures, because it's one thing to just say it, but to give the understanding for edification purposes is another thing. And that's what you were able to do. And I just pray that it benefits someone out there. And definitely look around, and you saw, or as you see this video, you will be able to see through the scriptures the fruits of unrighteousness and then the fruits of the Spirit. So wherever we are in any community setting, whether it's church or camp, we should be able to discern or decide what kind of fruit is amongst us, is what I'm saying. Is it the fruit of unrighteousness, all of those things, the idolatry and the strife, and is there always heresies around, hatred around, even witchcraft? Most high forbid.
Gossiping.
Most high forbid, but it's in the scriptures for a reason, because it happens. And you know, whether we're around love, we feel love when we're in our community. We feel the joy and peace. It's always peaceful. We really look forward to going because it's always so peaceful, and our spirit is filled, and whatever stress we had coming in, we leave with a burden lifted, and we leave with just a good sense of peace and joy and love in our hearts, and we just feel filled with the love of others. And whether or not we're around people who show gentleness to one another, or is it a cutthroat environment? You know, like, we just have to discern when we're amongst others or we're in our church or camp, which fruits are at play, which fruits are working around us, because there's going to be one or the other.
Yeah, when you said cutthroat, man, that word just no, seriously, it just fell on me like a ton of bricks. And I'm just like, man, like if your environment, your spiritual environment is cutthroat, that is definitely not of the Most High God. And the thing is that we've experienced that. That's crazy.
Well, I'm glad you I'm glad you focused on that particular idea, the cutthroat, because continuing on in this article, it says PTCD cuts deeply.
It sure
That's
does.
what it says next.
It sure does.
It says if there's
sometimes those wounds don't heal.
Well, I mean, it takes a longer time to heal some wounds, you know.
Yeah.
Welcome, King _KIP _noted entered over here at Israelitesses United. We're talking about PTCD, post-traumatic camp or church disorder. We've lived it. Not everybody lives this, so we know it doesn't apply to everybody. And we really understand, and we are overjoyed that some of our brothers and sisters never had to know this, what we're talking about. But for those of us on the other end of the spectrum who lived through what seems like hell in camp or hell in church, and we've come out, you know, alive, and as I said, survivors, like Sister Stephanie and I were survivors of this type of event or experience, then, you know, praise the Most High, we're here to talk about it. We're here to help others who either may possibly be at the brink of entering something that's, you know, should be entered into with caution, or they're in it and don't know how to get out or don't know what to do.